In this video, we're going to check out the Novation SL Mark III. So first off, I'm just going to start building up stuff and we'll go from there. So right now I'm on my JU06 Roland Boutique. I'm just going to enter in some notes here. Something like that. So I'm going to stop the transport so I can hear the notes while I'm entering them in. First step. Now let's play. So a couple things I want to change about this. I want this note to be here, I think. So let's duplicate it, hold the source note, and then press the destination. Clear that note. Now let's listen to it. I like that, but I want to add maybe 8 steps after this. So let's go into the next pattern. We're going to press Options. Let's bring this down to 8 steps. Turn off pattern. Now if I press patterns, we're going to tell it to chain 1 to 2. So there we go. Now let's press play. Now it's ringing out just like we wanted it to. So let's make the notes higher. Press Shift and arrow up. What I want to do now is add more notes in because we're going to play around with swing. I'm just going to add in some notes here. Let's just listen to what that sounds like. Okay, so we got a lot of notes going on now. It almost sounds just like Kaoss. Let's bring it back to pattern 1. And it just sounds a little crazy. So what I can do is press Options. And I can press Chance. Now we're going to apply whatever chance we want on any of these notes. So right now everything is on 100%. So we're in the top area and we saw all the notes here. We go down here and we see that blank one. So just depends on where we're at here, and then we can modify the chance. So if I turn this first note down to say 50, let's just press play, see what happens if it plays it. That note. So it played it that time. It missed it that time. So let's say we want to apply that to all of the notes. Just hold down Shift, and now we can apply it to all. So let's turn the knob. So now all the notes are set to 50% chance. So if I press play, now it's kind of generative. So that randomness is a little less. So let's clear this pattern. Patterns, clear. Okay, now that pattern is clear. I want to change the length of this. So go into Options, Pattern, and bring it down. Let's just start with 4 steps, turn off Options. Now let's play some notes in here. Okay, sounds good. What I'm going to do is bring down the decay so we can really hear each note. Turning up the cutoff. Let's turn down the release. Now we can really hear the notes. So now, if I press tempo, we see swing is at 50%. So every note is exactly next to each other. And we have a sync rate. So the notes in this sequence are 16th notes. So we're going to stick to 16th rate. Now if we go in the positive, listen to the notes now. The greater and greater that percentage, Now you can hear it's offset every other note. Let's go back down. Now let's go under 50 and you can listen to the notes overlapping the other way. So I like that rhythm. Maybe add some more notes. Lower notes. So you hear that? It's just a little off. So that applies to all of our other synths now. So I'm just going to add some F notes here. So we'll do an A here. Let's go back in a tempo and let's change that sync rate to 1/8. Now it's going to have a different rate, which you'll be able to hear. Let's go in the negative. We can even go to 1/4. So maybe let's make some practical use of this. So I'm in a pattern here, and I want to do a bass line. Something like that. So we're going to go into Options, Pattern. Let's bring that down to 1/8. And now I'm just going to enter in those notes 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And then I want it to go to E. Now if I press play, let's listen to it to a beat. Okay, I like that. Let's bring up the cutoff. Let's make it ring out a little more. Bring up the release. Okay, now let's go into the JX03 and put in some notes here. Okay, so let's enter in some notes that sound nice. Okay, so I like this, but let's bring it up an octave, shift, arrow up. Let's turn down the bass a little so we can really hear what's going on here. Let's turn up the cutoff. Let's go to Options. Now what we're going to do is press Chance. Now what we can do, we can see this lines up with each step that's enabled as a note. And each one right now is set to 100%. So if we bring it down, the likelihood or the chance that it would play goes down. So it's conditional. Let's say I want to apply that to everything. So what I'm going to do is hold down Shift and then turn the knob to change all of the values. We're going to bring it to 60. So now it's skipping some notes. So what we're also going to do is we're going to go into Pattern, change the direction to random. So now it might or might not hit some notes. And it's also doing the chance that we set for each note. Let's bring down the sync rate so it's not as fast. I want to add more notes now. Let's just do it. So that's pretty cool. Let's make it ring out a little more. So we can have order and we can have kind of generative sounds in the background. Let's bring up that bass. We can run all that through some effects here. So let's turn that off. This is the Microcosm. Now what I can do, let's actually go in the bass here, the bass notes. Let's see what happens if we go into random. Interesting. Let's turn up the cutoff. I think we need to add some hi-hats on the circuit drums. Alright, let's add some more delay on the Korg Kaoss pads. Maybe some reverb on the shimmer verb on the H9. Let's turn off random on here. So regular forward now. Let's turn down some stuff here. We're going to turn down the other synths and just have the bass, the Microcosm. Let's turn up the drums. Let's say we want it to just stay here, so let's just move that start position. So now it's just going to loop that part. Maybe add some notes on here. Turn up the synth. Let's turn up the cutoff. Turn down the octave, shift arrow down. Bring up the sync rate. Let's turn down some values on here. Let's change the direction. Turning down the drums to add some more delay, some reverb on the RMX. Bring up the other synths. Bring up the drums again. Let's go back to the bass. Bring that start position back. turning up the microcosm.